Hello, I'm Jonathan Helliwell, Complaints Intake Team Lead for OAI's Investigations Division. In the second half of 2022, ADB's Office of Anti-Corruption and Integrity, or OAI, registered 82 new complaints of integrity and other violations, with over half alleging fraud. OAI received the majority of complaints from outside parties, 16 from ADB staff, and 16 from anonymous sources. 85% of the complaints involved ADB loans, grants, or technical assistance. 6% accounted for complaints involving the actions of ADB staff, and the remaining 9% were categorized as other, including misuse of ADB's name or logo, and violations by ADB consultants and contractors. OAI concluded 106 complaints assessments, of which 71 were closed. The majority of closed cases were found to be not credible. Of the 35 complaints approved for investigation, 77% relate to allegations of fraud, while the remaining 8 complaints are on collusion, corruption, and other misconduct. Complaints received from ADB staff accounted for 43% of cases approved for further investigation. Of the 58 complaints that remained open at the end of December 2022, 23 were subject to final review. This leaves 35 active complaints assessments starting January 2023, OAI's lowest number of active cases carried forward. OAI also met a key metric of concluding 99% of all complaints registered in the first half of 2022 by year end, while maintaining its focus on high-quality assessments, issuing timely and proportionate remedial actions, including cautions and reprimands, and enhancing risk mitigation across ADB projects.
Hi, I'm Nasrvan Talati and I lead the External Investigations team. OAI closed 32 external investigations in the second half of 2022. OAI closed 5 cases where allegations have been disproven or unsubstantiated. OAI also closed 1 case after considering other factors relating to that allegation. 15 out of 32 investigations were closed with debarments, and 11 were closed with reprimands and a caution. Debarred entities are not eligible to do business with ADB. Debarments may either be accepted or imposed by ADB's Integrity Oversight Committee or the IOC. OAI closed 8 investigations in which proposed debarments were accepted by 7 firms and 1 individual. These debarments also extended to 64 branches and subsidiaries to prevent the circumvention of sanctions. In one of these investigations, OAI imposed a conditional non-debarment on a firm. A conditional non-debarment is imposed if the investigation determined that debarment is not required. The party must take specific actions within an agreed-upon, predetermined time frame. In appropriate circumstances, this provides the firm with the opportunity to implement appropriate remediation measures. 12 investigations submitted to the IOC resulted in the debarment of 11 firms and 6 individuals. OAI closed 5 of these investigations by the end of 2022. This brings the total number of open external investigations to 162, including the 33 new cases approved for investigation from July to December 2022. Allegations of fraud made up 72% of the ongoing investigations. OAI is also proactively reaching out to firms and individuals that are due for reinstatement. Firms and individuals that demonstrate their improved internal governance and higher ethical standards are, after reinstatement, eligible to participate in ADB-related activities.
Good day, I'm Jackie Bell, Internal Investigations Team Lead. In the second half of 2022, the team addressed the 10 investigations brought forward from the first half of 2022 and 2 additional cases where staff allegedly engaged in harassment and bullying. OAI issued 3 investigation reports to ADB's Budget, People and Management Systems Department, BPMSD, which concluded that staff engaged in misconduct. The misconduct included staff obstructing an OAI investigation, as well as collusion, harassment, and disrespectful and unprofessional behavior. In all cases, OAI submitted report to BPMSD within 12 months of the subject staff being notified of the investigation. In every case, OAI ensures complete due process to enable subject staff to meaningfully respond to the findings prior to conclusion. OAI closed the case under which the investigation report finding misconduct was issued in the first half of 2022. OAI liaised with the relevant departments to address the root causes of the integrity violations and identify improvements in internal controls and communication. OAI also issued a report to a staff who alleged he had been retaliated against due to his role as a whistleblower. OAI worked together with other subject matter experts to prevent, mitigate, and address sexual exploitation, abuse, and harassment, SEIA, both within ADB and its projects, and articulate the bank's stance on domestic violence. This involves supporting ADB's efforts to prepare guidelines for and address occurrence in ADB finance projects. We continue to work closely with ADB's Office of Professional Ethics and Conduct with respect to alleged staff misconduct, particularly those involving harassment, bullying, and abuse of authority. Of the 6 internal investigations remaining open at the end of the year, 2 were for final review and have since been closed. Overall, cases were around 30% lower than the same period last year. This resulted from fewer reports of staff misconduct, due mostly to the continued remote working and reduced work-associated travel. As we, with the rest of the world, emerge from the pandemic, we will likely receive more complaints. Remain vigilant to ensure that ADB-supported activities demonstrate integrity and transparency. If you suspect fraud, corruption, or misconduct, report it to OAI through integrity@adb.org.